Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday fun day. Okay, I'm going to try to start this vlog and have some kind of semblance of organization to this vlog today. Which then watch, people will be like, I don't like the organization. Okay, it is currently, we're going to do the time and temperature check because I've gotten far away from doing that at the beginning of the vlog. So it is currently 2:55 p.m. and I think it said it was like 88 or 89 when we were coming back from brunch, and that was about 25 minutes ago. So let's see what time or what temperature it is now. It's 89 degrees outside, and it says that it feels like it's 95. It feels very, very hot today. And you guys are like partially in the sun on the table. Like the table is partially in the sun and partially not in the sun. What does it say? Today's high temperatures will be nearly the same as yesterday's. That tells us absolutely nothing. Okay, let's see. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be 90, partly cloudy, high near 90. I think it was supposed to be sunny tomorrow, wasn't it? And then Tuesday, I know it was supposed to be rain on Tuesday because I said that Tiny Jean and I won't be going to the meeting if it rains. And now it says 90 degrees, intervals of clouds and sunshine. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Wednesday, 86. Okay, Thursday, 87. Partly cloudy all week long. So, I might try to go to the pool 1 or 2 days this week. We'll see. But today is not the day, like they said in Silo. Because we were at brunch today, and Alex was like, do you want to go see a movie? And I was like, yeah, that'd be fun. Let's go see a movie tonight. So we're going to go see a movie early. I think we're going at 6:40. And he was like, good. He's like, I've been wanting to see I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one, for a while now. I was like, oh, well, I want to see Weapons. And he goes, okay, well, Weapons just came out. And I've been wanting to see I want to see I Know What You Did Last Summer, too. So I was like, okay, let's go see that. And then next week or something, we can go see Weapons. And he was like, okay. We don't go to very many movies anymore. We used to go to movies all the time. I mean, probably... we probably went to the movies like 2 to 3 times a week back in the day. Well, when we first started dating, we were like trying to save money and stuff like that. I can remember, because it's so funny, like how some of your cheapest dates or your cheapest memories end up being like, I can remember my mom said that to me, like when I was younger. She'd say, I can remember like some of like the poorest like days of your dad and I being together were some of the best days, which I think is so true, you know? But I remember when Alex and I were trying to like save money and stuff when we like first started dating and whatever, first got together. And we would go to Walmart like on a Saturday night, and we would buy, because this was before like the Red Box and all this kind of stuff. It was between like Blockbuster and the Red Box. And so we would buy like 2 new movies that had just come out, because I think like to buy a new movie was like $15.99 or $19.99 or something like that on DVD. And it was cheaper to buy it than to go to the movie theater. So we would buy like 2 movies, and then we would buy, I remember they had like at Walmart like the popcorn that came in like the popcorn that you get at the movie theater, you know, like in the buckets, and you put it in the microwave. So we get like 2 of those. We get candy. We'd stop at the gas station and get like fountain pops and stuff. And then I can remember we would like sit upstairs in the bedroom, and it would be so hot, and we would like have the windows open with the fans going, and Boo and Tucker and Pee-Pee would sit at the end of the bed, and we would watch the movies in the bedroom. It was so much fun. Those were some of like, looking back, those are some of my favorite days. And then, you know, after all that, we started going to the movie theater more. And then on date nights, we would do like a date night when we were trying to save money. Like every 2 weeks, every week or every 2 weeks, we would do like a date night, and we would go to Applebee's, and we would do the 2 for $20 at Applebee's, which was like, you got an appetizer, 2 entrees, and 2 drinks, and like a dessert or something for $20. It was a really good deal. Where was I? Oh, it was when we were running errands yesterday, and we passed Applebee's. I think the Applebee's closest to us is closed. And I said to Alex, I haven't been to Applebee's in so long. And he was like, well, do you want to? And I was like, not really. Not really, but I did. I loved Applebee's back in the day. I loved it so much. And then I remember, like, so my ex is originally from Seymour, Indiana, which is like a real small town. It's where John Cougar Mellencamp is from. And so when we started dating, they got an Applebee's. They got an Applebee's. That was like a big deal that they got an Applebee's. So we would go down there like every other weekend and stay the weekend and visit our friends. And we would sometimes go to, there was like a Tex-Mex restaurant called Tumbleweeds. It was so good. They had like this corn kind of like souffle thing that I loved. And then, this was before I was a vegetarian, but we would also go to Applebee's. And then at Applebee's, I remember they had like this, it was some kind of like wrap sandwich, like chicken wrap sandwich, and I loved it. And then we would always get the blondie, which was a dessert. It was like a blondie, like brownie with ice cream on it. But then the day, like Sundays when we would go back to Indianapolis, I think we usually left on Sundays. Maybe, well, because we were off Saturdays and Sundays. No, we were off Sundays and Mondays, so maybe it was Monday we would go back, I think. We would go to Cracker Barrel. Oh my God, I loved Cracker Barrel so much back in the day. We would, when we would leave, they had like this like, not cabinet, but like shelf thing of all the Yankee candles. Do they still have that? I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in so long, but I love that you could shop there. I bought so much crap at Cracker Barrel through the years, but we would always buy a Yankee candle when we came back to Indianapolis. We were always so excited about it. But I have to tell you, other than like the hash brown casserole, which is fantastic at Cracker Barrel, we would always get cheeseburgers with bacon at Cracker Barrel. Their cheeseburgers, still unknown fact, are so good. They were back in the day. I don't know. I mean, I don't eat cheeseburgers anymore, but unless they're plant-based, but they were so good. And then we would get like side salads with honey mustard dressing. Oh my God, it was so good. We'd always sit by the fireplace because they have fireplaces at Cracker Barrel. But anyway, but I remember we would go to the Applebee's in Seymour. That was like a big deal. the Applebee's. And the TA, which is like a gas station, we would get mozzarella sticks and then we would play like the arcade games. That was like a Saturday night. That was early before we would stop by. And then you would just stop by everybody's house. You'd just be like, oh, let's go over to Susie's house. And we'd stop by Susie's house and just sit around for like an hour. And then we'd go shoot pool at this place called O'Brien Street. Little unknown fact, I'm a very good pool player. I learned it because going down there. So we bought our own, I had my own stick, my own pool stick, and like a case. I think I got rid of it years ago. Are they still in the basement or did I end up throwing them away? But I had my own pool stick and a pool stick carrying thing that you would unzip and you'd put it together and whatever. And we would go to, there was a bar in Seymour, I don't know if it still exists, but it was called O'Brien Street. And we would go there, like my ex and I and our two girlfriends, we would go there and shoot pool and put like quarters in the jukebox and everybody would play John Mellencamp, like Little Pink Houses and all that stuff, Jack and Diane. And then, where else would we, that was like early in the evening. And then at like 12 o'clock, we would, like, because during the day what we would do, it was in the summer, we would get up early, okay? Like this is like pre-Peter sleeping late. Well, I don't anymore now because of the puppies. But we would get up early, like if we went down there, like on a Saturday night, we would stay at the Hampton Inn, which is right off the interstate. I don't know if it exists anymore. By the way, I need a sip of this coffee. I did not want to bring home, they blueberry crumble today, which was delicious at Cafe Pas de Choux, but I was like, can I have an iced coffee? And she's like, our friend was like, do you want me to make you an iced cold brew with a sweet? I was like, yeah, sure. So this is an iced cold brew with a sugar, I don't know, with a sweet cold brew foam or something on it. So anyway, I tried to save it until I came out here to vlog. So when I got home, I put it in the refrigerator and then I brought paper towels because it's kind of sweating a little bit. It's actually really good. I'm not a big, like, unless it's fall, I don't really like cream and sweet stuff in coffee, but it's pretty good. And I really like the straw. I don't know why I like the straw so much, but anyway. So we would go down there on like a Saturday night. And then we would like run around on a Saturday night. Well, we would go down there Saturday after we got off work. So we would go down there about 6:30. Check into the Hampton Inn and we would stay there till like Monday. So we would do this like every other weekend. So on Sundays, we would go to the Seymour City Pool and we would just bounce because it was so cold. And then after that, we would go back and we would take naps. And then we would go back and pick them up about, I think, at like 7 o'clock in the evening or something like that. We'd always go eat. And then we would just run around and stop in people's houses. And then we would go shoot pool from like 10 to like midnight. And then we would start getting bored. And they would always like tell these stories about like haunted places, like in so it's Jackson County. They would talk about these haunted places in Jackson County, like Wheeler Holler and stuff. And so we would like go and find these haunted places with like some of their friends. And if we didn't do that, then we would drive to Argosy Casino, which I don't think it exists anymore. Our one friend always called it Odyssey. She could never get that it was Argosy. Argosy Casino was a fun casino, and we used to drive down there, and then we would stay there till like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we would like come home. But that was like a Saturday night, and then, no, that was like a Sunday during the day. Saturday nights we would usually like go out to dinner and then just like bounce from people's houses and stuff like that. Those were the good old days. But anyway, so when Alex and I got together, like date night for us, when we were trying to save money, was going to Applebee's, and then we would go to a movie. And we would always go, I think we went to the movie first, because we would try to go before, like, I don't know, Alex got the movie tickets today, so I don't know how much movie tickets are, but I know they're expensive. But like if you went before 6, I think, they were like cheaper. So we would go to like the earlier movie, and then afterwards we would go to Applebee's, because Applebee's was right in front of the movie theater, and we would go eat. That was like our date night, like every week or 2 weeks. That's when we got into the budgeting and the saving money, which like totally saved our lives. I mean, it really, really did. We read the Dave Ramsey books, and we did like literally everything that Dave Ramsey said about total money makeover and how to be a millionaire before you're 40 and all that kind of stuff, which I don't think I started reading that book until after I was 40, but I love those Dave Ramsey books. I don't know anything about Dave Ramsey as a human being, where he stands, if he's problematic, I don't know anything, but I'll tell you those books saved my life financially. They really did. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And just making me think in a completely different way about saving money. And also, I think talking to people. Like, I can remember Alex and I had this friend of ours that they, like, got married the same year that we did. They're still together. They're actually one of the only couples that we know that are still together. And I can remember talking to her about budgeting, because I had started budgeting, and she said that she had envelopes. And so, like, in one envelope would have, like, their grocery money. So it would be, like, week 1 of the month, and she'd have the grocery money, and week 2 would have the grocery. So they would, like, budget out, like, I know this is, I'm just using this as an example. I know that groceries are a lot more expensive than this, but let's just say if you're going to spend $100 a week on groceries. So then in that envelope for week 1, you would put $100, and then you wouldn't spend over that. So you would budget out your whole month. And I thought that that was genius. Well, I ended up buying one of those, you know, those plastic binder books. And so then, like, whatever was left over, you would put, like, in entertainment. And so entertainment would be, like, movies, going out to a bar, you know, whatever. And then that was what you had to spend in the month. When that money was gone, then you didn't go out anymore. You didn't go to any more movies, you didn't go to any bars and stuff like that. We did that for a long, long time. That turned into, and then when we got, like, financially settled, that turned into, whenever I talk about the financial stuff on here, people are always really, really interested. They're like, you need to make dedicated videos about this. I mean, in all honesty, I would, but I think when I see people make videos like that, they come across as if they're experts. I'm no expert in it. In all honesty, I just did what I read in the books. Like the snowballing debt on credit cards, I did that 100%. And I totally believe in snowballing debt. Like, I did it where, and you could do it a couple different ways, but the way that I did it was paying the cheapest credit card off first, and then what you pay that, you add to the next credit card once you get that one paid off. But anyway, I totally believe in that. And that was from Dave Ramsey too, I think. But a lot of people talk about that. Anyway, when I started budgeting, or when we started budgeting, now we each do it separately, individually, but I got one of those binder books. Now I do it like on a spreadsheet every month, and I kind of just have an idea. That was where, like, the entertainment floated over into now, whatever I have left is like entertainment slash like shopping. And so, like, if I put, let's say, I'm just going to throw out a number, like $200 a month on there for, like, that, whether that's, like, buying clothes or a hat or whatever, it carries over every month. So what I do is, I never, like, I hardly ever spend any month what I have allocated for online spending. Like, never. Never, ever do I ever. So I always, like, pay it over to the next month. And then what I do is, like, does anybody care about this? Probably nobody cares about this. On my spreadsheet, like, let's just say if, like, next month I had, like, if I spent $100, so I still have $100 left of the $200, let's say, right? I would put $300 over $200, so I knew that I had $100 extra. Well, what I do is, like, every 6 months to 9 months, I used to do it every year, but now I do it every 6 to 9 months, I pay myself out into my savings account. So at the end of 6 months, if I have, like, if I go into it and it's like 1,000 over 200, I might take, like, this is where I'll buy some extra stuff, and I'll say, like, I had some extra money, so I bought some stuff. I might, like, buy some extra stuff, like $100, $200 extra, and then that month I've spent $400 instead of $200, but I still have $600 left. Let's say if there's $1,000 in there, then I'll write myself, like, I'll pay myself $600 into my savings account. So every 6 months from my budget, I'm paying myself $600. And the thing about this is that I mean, I'm talking on like a larger scale. Well, I'm actually not even talking about the scale, really how I do it financially. I'm not even giving those numbers. But I can remember when I started, like my mom was actually somebody, my mom started her savings account. And she would put like, if she found $10 or had $10 extra in change, or somebody sent her, gave her $20 for her birthday, she'd always put it in her savings account. Anything extra, she put in her savings account. And she's like, because, and that can turn into your rainy day fund and all that kind of stuff, which I am so thankful that I did that. And when I talk about budgeting and stuff, people are like, yeah, but I don't have any extra money. You do though. You really do. Because you at least have $1, okay? And this is the thing. You at least have 4 quarters somewhere around the house. At least a month, you have an extra $1. And $1, if you put it in a savings account, I know this doesn't sound like a lot, okay? But if you put $1 in a savings account or $1 in an envelope in your kitchen, for 12 months, you have $12. It's $12 more at the end of the year than you had the year before. And you have to think that way. And that was really how I thought about it. That got me out of like debt and started getting me into savings and things like that. And that also turned into, I know a lot of people have heard me talk about this, like my wants versus my needs. Like when I would go somewhere, even now online, like yesterday I bought some shorts online because they were on sale, and the Bare Bottom is, somebody asked me about the brand. So the brand is called Bare Bottom, B-E-A-R, like Bare Bottom. And they're still expensive, but they're 20% off. They're really, so if you buy 2 pairs, each pair is 20% off. They're really, I have a pair of them on right now, but they're baggy. They're really high, I have black ones on right now. They're really high quality shorts. And so like, I know that they'll last like the next couple years. And so, and I don't think I'm gonna probably be losing a whole lot more weight. So anyway, although my goal for this week is to get back into the walk. I gotta get now the muscles, and all kind of stuff. So anyway, what was I gonna say? But I remember like, cause Tanya and I would go to like the Meijer back in the day, and we would go in there just to like look around and whatever. And both of us would do it. But I can remember I would go in there like 3 times a week and buy like a candle and like a book and whatever. And I went in there for like deodorant. And by the time I came out, I'd spent like $150, $160. Well, when I started paying off the debt, I can remember Tanya would say to me, like, I cannot believe you walked out of here with nothing. I would walk through the whole store, and what I realized was I enjoyed being with her more than I enjoyed buying things. Because I would buy this stuff and then it would just come home and it would just sit here and I didn't need it. And so I started like really, when I wanted to buy something, I'd really ask myself, like, is this a want or a need? And it didn't mean that I didn't allow myself to have some wants. It just, I would really think it through. Like, are you really going to use this? Like, are you really going to, you know what I mean? Like, especially if it was like a bigger ticket item, like a Keurig or something like that. I'd be like, are you really going to use this? No, you're not. And I really, really do that today. Like, I was actually looking through, so I cleaned out the pantry months ago, and I have like a whole like shelf that's all just coffee. I haven't bought, the newest coffee that's coming to this house is a coffee that Marissa sent me, which is gone, and I loved it. But I haven't bought new coffee in months. And this is kind of like my mindset now. Like so I cleaned out the garage. In the garage, I have a box of like the ice cream ones. Remember that I bought the ice cream ones? And then in the pantry, I have another box of like a big box of like 48 count or something like that. And then I have, I think like 12 things a box of flavors. I'm like, until fall comes and I want to buy some fall flavors, or I've gone through those, like I'm not buying any coffee. And like all that kind of stuff, like I just don't do that unless I absolutely need it anymore. Like cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, I don't like, I used to overstock that stuff. I don't do it anymore. I just don't, there's no reason to, especially when you can go and get it like that day. I'm not doing it anymore. And so that has really greatly reduced my spending as well, I will say. And also at the grocery store, like I really, like a lot of people will laugh and say, you're like somebody said this the other day, I did my haul. I think it was the last haul that I did 2 hauls ago. They said something like, oh, you're like my friend. You go to the grocery store like every 2 or 3 days. Well, the reason why I do that is because when I go to the grocery store, then I don't spend as much. I find that if I go, and I know a lot of people have kids and they can't do that. I get that. But like I'm basically shopping for myself. Alex shops for himself. I shop for myself. When I go, if I go every 2 to 3 days, I'm less likely to buy a bunch of crap that I don't need, And then like the bigger stuff, like paper towels, toilet paper, or, whatever, Alex will get like a pallet of Cokes. Although he hasn't done that for a while. I haven't bought a 12-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper or Diet Coke. I was going to get Diet Coke this time. I don't even know the last time I did it. A month and a half ago? I hardly ever drink soda at the house anymore. I always just drink water. But Yeah, somebody was asking some questions the other day about like, oh, is it like the weight loss, is it all just like walking and stuff? A great part of it, I think, was the walking initially. This part was really, really hard for me. But over time of just forcing myself to do it, I feel like I heard this from so many people through the years. And I just knew that it worked because, like, this gal that I used to work with back in the day that I was close with, I remember she lost like 40 pounds. I was like, how did you do it? She goes, when I'm full, I stop eating and I put the food away. And like I knew I'd heard so many people say that worked, but I just like as a overeater and things like that, I could never do that. That is one thing that I've trained myself to do. Like today when we were at brunch, so I don't get a bowl of soup, I get a cup of soup, and then I didn't even finish the tomato artichoke soup. And then I get the waffle grilled cheese, and I ate like 1/2 the grilled cheese, and then later, that's the other thing, is like eating over the course of a day instead of eating all like one meal. That's the other thing that's really helped with me. Hey, how are you? Good. And so they never say hi to me. That was interesting. I mean, they're always real friendly, but they never say like hi to me like that. That was the other thing, is that like eating throughout the day. Like when I'm hungry, eating something and then stopping as soon as I'm full. I used to be, I felt like for a long time I think I even talked about this on here, I felt like maybe I had like binge eating disorder because I would eat until I was like uncomfortably full. I don't do that anymore. When I start getting full, I stop immediately and bring it home or whatever. Like that's something that Alex has done for years. I used to joke about it and be like, our whole refrigerator is like leftovers, but like Alex, like when he's full, he stops eating. I don't know, I just couldn't get that. Like I just couldn't, and like I had to almost kind of train myself to do that. So that's the first thing. Oh, I think it was in my haul yesterday maybe, because I bought a bunch of like, well not a bunch, but I bought this candy to review. I actually put it in the freezer when I got done with it because it was melting out here, and I thought, my mom used to love like Snicker bars in the freezer and stuff, and I thought that this would be fun. I'm allowing myself to buy a few more treats to have around the house, but not many. Like somebody said, how can you have all that stuff in the house? Well, for 6 months, I haven't had anything in the house. And just recently have I allowed myself to start having some ice cream. But there's the problem, right? Like I had the pint of ice cream in the house, and one night I ate half of it, and the other night I ate another half, and put a cheesecake thing inside of it. So I can't have a lot of that stuff. So when I went to Trader Joe's this week, I was like, no, I've got the ice cream sandwiches from Costco in there. I don't need any more ice cream than that. I bought the peanut butter things, but like, I'll eat a couple of those, and when I get full, I stop. I just had to really force myself to do it. And also use my accountability partners that like when I'm like really, really craving, reaching out to somebody and being like, hey, like I'm really hungry. And they're like, okay, you know, like I feel you and whatever. Like the accountability partner thing has been huge too. So, but all that's great, but my weight has been pretty stagnant since I stopped walking. So I've got to get back to the walking. I mean, it wasn't like I was losing weight that aggressively anyway, but when I was walking actively like 2 hours a day, I really could tell a difference. And I could also tell a difference in like the shaping of my body, that my body was tightening up, that my legs were looking more muscular and stuff like that. And I physically felt better, and I think it really helped with my anxiety. So, but anyway, the budgeting, I don't even know what got me on that. But anyway, so tonight we are going to go see, how did I end the budgeting thing? I was talking about Tanya Jean. She and I would go to Meijer. Oh, we'd stop. She's like, how did you not spend any money? So I stopped buying all that stuff. Because I realized that the buying of it, the getting excited over like, books were like the worst thing. I would buy so many books from like, you know, the grocery store or whatever. And in that moment, I was so excited, I could just imagine myself getting home. And I mean, I'm talking about $100 worth of like word puzzle books, fiction books, you know, the new James Patterson or Michael Connelly book, or, you know, like this bracelet making machine that Tanya and I looked at like 5 times. I was like, I gotta have this. One time I bought that, it was like $19.99, but all that stuff, a candle here and there, a t-shirt here and there, it all adds up. I can't tell you how many t-shirts and stuff I have in boxes upstairs from Meijer with the tags on it that I never wore, you know? And so I stopped doing all that. It was just a waste of money. It was just a complete waste of money once I started deciding like what I needed. And I would rather spend money, save my money up, and not buy. Like, whenever I show something, people are like, that's so expensive that you bought that. I'm like, it is, But I also didn't buy the 10 t-shirts at Meijer that are the same price as this pair of sunglasses. Does that make sense? And so it's like, I'd rather have a nice pair of sunglasses than 10 t-shirts at Meijer that are going to sit in a closet with a tag on it. The other thing I did with cologne, like this was huge too with cologne. Like I really like, the colognes I have upstairs in my closet now, or upstairs in the bathroom, I'm like way, way, way down. I need some new Creed. I think I'm going to order it today. And I need some more Chanel Blue. Those are really the only two I wear. I used to back in the day, like once or twice a month, I would go to like Macy's or Perfumania and I would buy like some cologne that smelled good, but I didn't really end up liking it as much. I can remember I did this with like Angel by Terry Mugler and Spice Bomb. Spice Bomb does not smell good on me. Angel doesn't smell good on me. There's a couple different ones I did that with. The Louis Vuitton ones I love, but they're so expensive. Alex still has a couple of those. The Tom Ford ones, I wish they did, but none of them smell good on me. So the cologne that I wear is expensive, but I don't have to spray a lot of it on. I think actually, I did wear Creed today, yeah. Instead of buying like 4 or 5 different colognes over the course of like 2 months that are each like $50 or $60 each, I'm just like, I just buy one cologne that lasts me 4 to 5 months that I really, really like. You know what I mean? So I don't do that anymore, buying like I don't buy quantity anymore. I had a friend of mine, my friend that lives in Portland now. She, this was when she was in college, or was a senior in college, so 15 years ago or something like that. She did a exchange program in Italy. And I remember talking to her at the time. This is Tanya, nice friend that lives in Portland. I remember talking to her at the time. And I said, like, what's the biggest difference over there? And she said, we have like these massive closets. Like in the United States, you see people that have like walls of like, you know, now you see them like walls of Birkins and stuff. She's like, you know, people have like 5 leather jackets, 10 leather jackets, all this kind of stuff. She goes, and where I was, everybody is dressed impeccably, but like everybody will have like 1 really nice leather jacket, 2 really nice pairs of jeans, 1 really nice pair of white sneakers, 1 really nice pair of black leather shoes, 1 really nice leather belt, 1 really nice leather bag. But they don't have 50 items of it. They have 1. And so when you open their closet's very small. Like they just have what they need and not like, you know, they're not of an excess. I don't know why that conversation kind of changed everything for me. I know that sounds bizarre, but it really changed my whole perspective on things. And at the same time, I also had a friend of mine, she's probably 15 years older than me, and this woman, very wealthy woman, and she was like, I'm getting rid of everything. And I was like, what do you mean you're getting, this was like a family friend, and I was like, what do you mean you're getting, when did she say this? I was like, that would have been after my mom passed away, because we were talking about my mom. She's like, I'm getting rid of everything. And I was like, what do you mean you're getting rid of everything? She's like, I was like, your house? She's like, well, not my house. She's like, I'm getting rid of everything. She's like, I don't want anything anymore. She's like, I want 1 pair of khaki pants, 1 pair of jeans. I want 1 nice black suit. I want all like white crisp shirts. I want to get rid of everything. She's like, I just want to wear like white, black, and khaki. That's all I want to wear. She's like, I need 1 coffee mug. I was like, and I think about this a lot. I really do, like when I'm standing in the kitchen. Because I think you all know, like, I mean, I'm overconsumption galore. Like, even though I'm trying to do better at it, I still, like, I look in the kitchen, I'm like, I can't, I mean, I donated so many coffee mugs in the last year and got rid of a lot of that stuff. Who was texting me? What is that? If you want to find the worst movie in the world to watch or TV show, just ask Nikki what she's watching, because she's asked me. Hold on a second. She said that, okay, her and her husband are wanting to watch a thriller today, and so my mother-in-law just told me, she was like, oh, I watched Town. Have you watched Town? I think it was with Ben Affleck. She said it's really, really good. It was just like top 10 on Netflix. And I told Nikki, I said, oh, you guys should watch this Town. My mother-in-law just told me it's really, really good. And and then she's like, oh, I think we're going to watch The Princess Who Came to Town or something. I'm like, girl, like she'd always be like, what book should I read next? I'm like, oh my God, these are like the top 5 like best books that just came out in the last year. And then I'll see, and she'll put up on Instagram, girl, I'm shading you. Yeah, you know I am. And I know that Nikki's mom is what, hey, how was it?
Hi.
Is the pool nice?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Got a little sun?
Yeah, I gotta talk to you at some point.
Okay, all right. That was Miss Laura coming back from the pool. She asked me if I want to go to the pool earlier, and I was like, well, we're going to brunch, so maybe later. So we might go to the pool later tonight after, because Alex was like, where do you, he was like, do you want to go to the early show or the later show? What I wanted to say was, we're going to the 6:40 show. What I wanted to say was, the camera stopped right on my spirit fingers. What I wanted to say was, Laura said she has to talk to me later about something. I'm wondering if there was like, because she was like, she pointed down there. I wonder if there was like some drama at the pool, is what I'm wondering. I almost stopped it to find out, but I'm like, no, I'm on a roll. Because she was like, I need to talk to you later. And she like pointed down to the pool. And when I asked her, I was like, how's the pool? She was like, I need to talk to you later. She like went like that. So now I wonder what the HOA drama is. The mysterious HOA drama. Anyway, what was I going to tell you? Oh, so what I wanted to tell Alex tonight when he said, because you want to go to the earlier movie or the later movie, which is weird because you know I always pick the later movie, right? But with the puppies, it's easier like to get them like settled and stuff like that, like later at night, and have them like, you know, like last night, oh my gosh, those boys were running laps till like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was so funny because they were just like running. I was sitting downstairs watching this movie, and they were just like, Alex was asleep by that point. He went to bed real early last night. He went to bed at like 10:30. Well, he went to bed, and then they were up there with us, and I laid down to take a nap, and I was like, okay, let's see how this goes, to see if they fall asleep and stuff like that. And so, we have, like, the little light in the bedroom, you know, for, like, that Boo Radley would use, that they, like, you know, because Walter is now, we are probably... I mean, this boy is so curious, Walter. He is so curious. And Otis just follows him everywhere. And then Otis is the one that comes up with stuff. And then Otis is like, you can tell it's like Otis is like, come on, Walter, we're going to do this. And Walter's like, are we going to get in trouble? But last night, they like fell asleep, like right in between Alex and I. Alex like had his arm on like Otis. And Walter like snuggled in right next to me. It was real sweet. And so when I woke up, I like woke up and I was like, oh my God. They were like, in the exact same spot. But Alex went to bed last night at 10:30. I said, how did you sleep this morning? He goes, I slept deep. He was like, I didn't wake up at all. So I brought them downstairs, took them out, and stuff like that. They came inside. Oh my God. They ran laps for like hours. And finally, little Walter came up. He's like, he always does this like on the side of the chair, and then I pick him up. And then he came out, and he like literally just like crashed on my leg. And then like 2 seconds later, Otis comes up and he's like doing like this little thing. And Otis is so small. So when I reach down to get Otis, Otis backs up. And then I'm like, come here, Otis. And then Otis comes forward. And then I come to reach him. And then when I reach him, he backs up again. And so then I sit back. And then he goes like this in the chair again. We do that for like 3 times. He's so cute. So then I get them both in the chair, and then they fall asleep like that. Like they were out. I went to bed at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they slept from like 3 to 5. They were up late though last night. They were kind of, I think it's because they slept with Alex and I and took a nap last night. They're very, very sweet. Those 2 people were like riding their bicycles down the street. They looked very serious. They had like their helmets on and everything like that, and they were riding real slow, but one of them had a radio. Did you hear that? On their bicycle? I kind of live for that. I want to get a bicycle for the fall. I mean, I know if I do this, I won't use it, so we're not going to do that. I actually have a bike in the garage that I've like, Tony and I bought. Did I end up giving that away, or is it still in there? I can't even see it right now. Do you know where you just can't think of things? Oh, by the way, on my Peter Does Stuff channel this week, so last night, I literally sat down. Y'all, I have a list on my phone, just so y'all know, okay? Videos this week, 8/11. I have videos for every day, well, even more so on the review channel. I have videos for every day, every channel this week. So it just has to do with like a timing kind of thing, and if I go to the pool. But I have literally, last night, drama, TV, does stuff, review, Peterism's BookTube channel. I literally outlined, I have videos for every single day this week to watch, or to film. So I'm real excited about that. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Alex said, he goes, do you want to go to the 6:40 or the 10:20 or something like that? And I go, well, I'd rather go the earlier one. But what I wanted to say is I'd rather do a double feature today because I really want to see weapons. Everybody's talking. I said that to him. I go, everybody's talking about weapons. He goes, well, I really wanted to. I go, how long is I Know What You Did? I mean, I really want to see I Know What You Did last summer, but in all honesty, it's kind of a stream. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is though. Everybody's talking about weapons, and we're going to see this movie that's been out for 2 months. It's kind of it's a streaming movie. Like, you don't need to go in the movie theater and see it. I love the I Know What You Did last summer movies. So when we were on our way home, he goes, I said, you know, what are you going to do while I'm vlogging? He goes, I want to hang out with the boys in bed and stuff like that. And he goes, I think I'm going to start watching the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. And he goes, I go, well, I would have kind of liked to have done that before we went. He already bought the ticket, so we can't, you know. But that would have been a good excuse to go see Weapons today instead. I'll just watch them afterwards. It's fine. I love those I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. But anyway, I said, I used to watch the first one because I can remember Ryan Philippe would be in the gym when I was at the gym working out at my apartment complex. I love that movie. But anyway, the second one is that with Brandy when they go to the island. That one's okay, and I don't remember the third one at all. Is there a third one? Anyway, is the second one the island or is the third one the island? I don't know. What's that song with Brandy? They're doing a tour of that, The Boy Is Mine or whatever. But anyway, who was that? Brandy and Monica? Who was that back in the day? I don't know. But anyway, I know he did last summer. I liked the first one. And then I also had David and you thought he was the killer the whole time. And, oh my God, and Anne Heche was in it too. So sad about Anne Heche, isn't it? But anyway, so I really wanted to go see a double feature today, but that's too long, and I don't want to be gone that long. So anyway, so we're going to come home after the movie theater, and then the dogs will get settled, and then I can watch my shows and stuff like that. Now, last night, and I might go to the pool when I get home tonight, too, because it starts at 6:40. How long is this movie? I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025. How long is it? An hour and 51 minutes. I feel like every movie is an hour and 51 minutes. So if it starts at 7, with all the ads and stuff, I'm kind of excited about getting movie popcorn and candy. And a sody. And a fountain pop. Oh my God, I love my fountain pops from there. Okay, it'll be over by 9. So we'll be home by like 9:15 or something like that. So I might still go to the pool tonight. I don't know, we'll see. This coffee is good. I think I like it because I don't usually. Didn't it just look pretty? Do you know what? Can I just tell you what I've never had? Never have I ever had one of these, okay? Like if we were playing that game, Never Have I Ever. Never have I ever had one of those things where they like draw a heart or put your initial on it or something like a coffee. Does that surprise you? It kind of surprises me. Because as much coffee as I drink and I go to all these different local coffee places. And I've never even had it offered to me. I don't think anybody's ever been like, you know what I'm talking about? Like when you see it in the movies and they always show it on like the Instagram and stuff like that, and people are always posting how they got like a heart on their car. I've never had that. Never. Over it. Pisses me off. No, it really does. I want the heart on my effing coffee. Anyway. My neighbor, she was out there earlier, I thought. This neighborhood is quiet today. I don't know what people are doing. They call it adult summer now because, you know, the kids are back in school and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, Cafe Pas de Choux was busy today. It was so busy today. And so we see our local, like, this one couple that we always see. They met dancing at Capri up the street. I love them so much. He's probably 75. She's probably like 65. I love them. We see them. It was so funny because we were like in the corner. So where our friend, wherever she is, like her tables are is where we'll sit. And so they were on the other side. And so like, she always orders like toast and he gets like an omelet and like all this kind of stuff, right? And so they like, you know, they were sitting facing us, but like across the room. And it was so busy today. And so, like they were calling it, the servers were saying like, it was like Mother's Day in the middle of August or something like that. So anyway, we look over, I was kind of like looking over and she's like waving like, and so then I waved back and then she waved at Alex and Alex and I were both like waving like this and then her husband was waving and it's so funny. And people were like, what are they doing? Like these two couples across the room. It was kind of interesting today. There was like 4 gay couples there, but all of them kind of like looked like it might have been like, well, no, I wouldn't say all of them. Like, cause one of them we know, cause we've seen them in there a lot before. And another couple we've known, like we've known them for years. But the other 2 couples, I didn't know them, never seen them before and whatever. And they looked like they had like just taken the walk of shame. And then decided that they were going to go to Cafe Pas de Choux, like after the walk of shame. Do you know what I mean? Like they came out like, okay, like we should, now that we did it, we should go Cafe Pas de Choux for brunch or something like that. I don't know. My friend and I, when I was in college, we used to play this game called Instant History. Do you guys know this game? Oh my God, she came up with it. I can't claim it, but I love this game. And it's where you look at somebody and you like, okay, their name is like Judy Smith and they're like 62 years old and they just retired from the phone company. Does anybody work for the phone company anymore? Well, I guess like cell phone companies, but like the phone company. They just retired from the phone company. You know, like their favorite thing is like they're a citizen detective, but they only like looking at like local serial killers. And then they also like their other pastime is like canning preserves for the winter. And they're also a survivalist. Like their entire basement has been like turned into like, you know, a fortress. And you come up with this like instant history, but it has to be like what you really think like they would be. So it's so funny because when like you can kind of see the couples that kind of like roll into Patashu that are like, okay, we spent all last night effing, now we need to go to Cafe Patashu and have an omelet or something like that. So anyway, we're going to see I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm excited. Okay. If Weapons wasn't out, I would be real excited about it. And Alex was like, babe, he was like, this has been out forever. He's like, I want to see it. I was like, okay. He always asks me to go to movies. And I'm always like, oh, not today, not today. So I was like, I can do this for my husband. So he's like, we can go to Weapons next weekend. I was like, that's fine. So anyway, last night I looked to see when it streams. It doesn't stream forever, but I keep on spending all this money on renting these movies online. $19.99 last night I spent to watch 28 Years Later, the newest one. Okay, so let's get to that really quick. Is that what I did yesterday? Alex watched that Sandman forever. What did I do? Oh my god, you guys want to hear about this? You want to talk about wasting money? Okay, this is wasting money. So I came inside last night. Well, whenever I got done vlogging, and Alex and I were sitting around and whatever. Now this was after... Because I said to him, I said, do you want to watch a movie or something, or do you just watch the show? And he was like, babe, it's up to you. He's like, I'm really into this show. It's like, then you just watch the show now. Because I want to get caught up on Life After Lockup, because 2 episodes were already out. And I wanted to watch some of my shows, and I knew that later last night I wanted to watch 28 Years Later. The third 28 Days Later movie that just came out like a month ago. I was going to pay my $19.99 and rent it and watch it. I was ready. So we were sitting there and I was like, I kind of really want to order something. Like, I'm really hungry. And he was like, but I said, I really would love like pasta and pizza. I said, but it just hurt my stomach the other night. So I've got to have something different than that. So when your stomach, you're afraid of it being hurt, why not nachos, right? Like, so I said to Alex, I said, do you want something? And then the other night, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I said to him I was going to order something like if you wanted Puccini's, if you wanted pizza. And then I didn't end up getting Puccini's that night. I got it the next night. And so, and no, I'm not wearing all 3 of my rings. It's a lot, you guys, to wear all 3 of the rings. I don't know how Alex does it. So I'll probably just kind of rotate between the rings, in all honesty. But anyway, it'll kind of depend on what watch I wear. But I didn't wear any watch today. And in all honesty, this Cartier Love Ring is the most comfortable of all of them. So, probably because it's the loosest. But anyway... So, and these shirts were like 3 for $9.99. These are the shirts that, well, these are not the matte and bow ones. I thought these were the matte and bow ones that are supposed to make you look real thin. But these are not. I don't know what brand these are. They're real cheap. They were like 3 for $9.99. Maybe I got them at like Costco or something. I don't know, but they're so comfortable. They're my new favorite shirt. I love them so much. I have like gray, black, and blue in these. I think they're kind of nice, don't you? Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so I said to him, I go, okay, well, I'm going to order something. Wool. W-O-O-L. Well, I'm going to order something. Do you want something? He goes, well, this is always a conversation. It depends on where you're going to order it from. I go, why don't you tell me where you would like something from, and then I'll order from there. He goes, no. He goes, I'm not really that hungry. You just tell me where you're going to order it from, and then I'll let you know if I want anything. It's this game called marriage, okay? And I said, Puccini's. I'm not really hungry for Puccini's tonight. So we go through about 3 places, right? I go, Cheesecake Factory. I wasn't even really that hungry for Cheesecake Factory. And just so you know, Cheesecake Factory is the most expensive place to DoorDash from. First of all, if what you get there is $10, they add another $10 on it, okay? And then you have to pay all this. And I even got like, anyway, it's expensive. So I said, do you want something from Cheesecake Factory? He goes, ooh, nachos. And then I was like, oh, nachos sound so good. I mean, they really did in the moment. So I was like, okay, now Alex always gets the spicy. So when you order it online, okay, they have the factory, Cheesecake Factory. They're called the factory nachos with just plain, no meat, no chicken, no nothing in it, okay? And then they also have an option. It's factory nachos, and then 2 down, factory nachos with chicken. It's 2 separate things you have to hit, okay? I don't know what I did. I was so pissed, y'all. It was like $60. I could not believe it. I was so pissed. I ordered, and I looked at the receipt. It was my fault. I don't know what I did. I don't know why I did it, but I ordered 2 spicy chicken nachos. Well, I can't eat them because I don't eat chicken, you know, because I'm a vegetarian. So they came. Back in the day, I used to like get so upset about. I'd be like, oh my god, I can't. I just was like, it's my own damn fault now. So Alex was like, I am so sorry, babe. He was like, do you want me to wait? I was like, no, you can eat your food. So I said, you can have both of them. So we put the other one in the fridge because he can like put that stuff in the air fryer and then he can like heat it up. He loves to do that. I think nachos do not heat up well, but he swears they heat up well in the nachos. So he's got 2 chicken. He's got the leftover because he only ate half the order yesterday. But then I'm hungry still, right? Okay, see, so I'm like, and now I want nachos. And I'm sure as shit not ordering from Cheesecake Factory again because they're just going to, like, the second time they might be chicken nachos too. So I order a Taco Bell. And I get nachos Bel Grande, okay, with the black beans and all that kind of stuff. And then I get, what do I get? I get the Fiesta chips in it too. I got the spicy potato. You know what I'm talking about? It's on there. They have a vegetarian menu. So I got the spicy potato taco. It's like $1.59. And then I got the cheese and rice burrito with Fiesta strips. It's like $3. Okay. Nachos Bel Grande with no meat in it, okay? Just the black beans and stuff like that. And then a large mug root beer. It came to like $19, okay, for all this food. I'm like, how, my neighbor Laura just left. I'm like, how does, it didn't even come to 19, I think that was with like the tip and everything. I'm like, oh my God. And it was here. Like, Cheesecake Factory took us like 50 minutes to get here. Taco Bell was here in like 10 minutes. It was so good. But I couldn't even eat that much of it because by then, I had gotten into the crackers from Trader Joe's because I was so hungry, but Alex was eating his. So that when the food came and I don't eat, when I'm full, I stop eating. So, and Taco Bell does not last. Don't tell me it does. It just doesn't. My husband swears it does too. He'll roll up a burrito or a taco and put it in the fridge and warm it. No, that's gross. It doesn't last. But anyway, so got Taco Bell last night. And then Alex was watching Sandman. Which, by the way, somebody said something, a couple people actually said it, about how problematic Neil Gaiman is. I did not know that at all. So I was talking about him in the video yesterday. I honestly, a couple people like talked about there was allegations against him and stuff like that. I had no clue till you guys let me know about that, and I am going to look into it. So I did not know about that, but thank you for educating me on that. I appreciate it. But he was watching The Sandman, and then I got caught up on the first 2 episodes of Life After Lockup, and I took notes. So I will real quickly give you a rundown. I'm going to do my video this week on that. But here's my... So it's Courtney and Will, Demondrick, Kiana, and Joelia, JK and Brooke, Justine and Michael, Danielle and Bianca, and Letitia and Keith. There's only a couple of them I'm real interested in. Courtney and Will, they're back from the last season. Demondrick, Joelia, Kiana, I'm interested in them. They're back from the last season. JK and Brooke are back from the last season. I'm interested in them. They are messy. Messy, messy, messy. Justine and Michael, I don't know what season they were, but I watched their season. They're the ones that are from Las Vegas, and they have 9 kids. And at the baby shower, his mom gave her a DNA test. It was real rude. I don't care about them at all. Danielle and Bianca, I don't know that couple, but I like them. But I'm not super interested in them because I don't know them a lot. And he's an addict in recovery, but he slipped. She reminds me of somebody like from season 1 or 2 that they're all focused on getting married and getting pregnant again. And then Letitia and Keith, he just got out for 11 years for distribution, and they got married in jail. They're okay. They're kind of boring to me in all honesty. And they kind of remind me of like old school Love After Lockup. Like, he's going to a co-ed halfway house, and she's like, I trust my man, but I don't trust those bees and all this kind of stuff. Well, then you don't trust your man. That's the thing, right? Like, when people say, I trust my person, but I don't trust them around these people, then what you're saying is you don't trust your person. Like, that's a pretty common, like, I don't understand why people don't get that with trust. Here's 2 things I will never understand, okay? Why, if your man cheats on you, okay, you want to beat the SHI toot out of the person you want to beat the SHI toot out of that person, not your man. You'll forgive your man left and right, okay? But you want to beat the crap out of that person. That don't make no sense to me, number one. Number two, what I don't understand is when you say you trust your man or woman implicitly, okay? Like, I trust them so much. I don't trust them women. Well, those women can't do nothing if you trust your man so much, first of all, okay? So I don't understand either one of them statements, but whatever. But I love that show. Courtney and Will and Brooke and JK are going to make the whole season for me. I can just tell you right now. Brooke and JK are messy. Messy, 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 messy. She done lied about losing her job, and she lost her job. She lost her job, which she was working for her mom. Her own mom fired her. She was a merchandiser. She basically worked in like a swap meet hall selling like those pop, what are those things called? You know, like pop sockets in the back of your phone and shit like that. Call her a merchandiser. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, her mom, she worked for her mom. Her mom fired her. So anyway, she doesn't say that on the show, but I remember her working for her mom, so her mom fired her. But anyway, she left her job because she was tracking JK last season, and he was at his ex-girlfriend Alex's house. So she goes there and gets on the phone, and she's like, where are you doing? He's like, oh, babe, I'm just leaving a job interview. And she's like, you're a liar. You're at your ex's house and all this kind of stuff. Well, she loses her job because she walked out on her job to go track him down. Now, on Life After Lockup, he's pissed at her because he said she's a liar. But he's really just pissed at her because he's trying to get out of the fact that he lied to her about being at his ex's house, where he shouldn't have been to begin with. And so he's like, and she's telling him to eat a dick and all this. It's so messy. But they're trying to get pregnant because, of course, it's true love, and we should probably bring a baby into this mess, right? And so they are trying to get pregnant, and they're so loud that they're waking up. So in their house, they live at his mom's house because he's on house arrest. Now, she doesn't stop taking care of her kids. Her kids are with his mom, or her mom, and they've been there for days, even though they started school and stuff. She's like, I gotta go get up early to go take the kids to school. She don't care about her kids no more, okay? She only cares about JK, and she's living at JK's house, making meatloaf with whatever leftover ingredients they have because she's only got $23 to her name. Now, this is true story. This is the second episode. His mom, she don't like her, Kathy. And then her mom's boyfriend lives in the house. And then her mom's best friend that's on a CPAP machine, that they had sex in the friend's hospital bed. You cannot make this shit up. And then he's apologizing to his mom about how loud they are having sex in the living room because they're trying to get pregnant with $23 to their name. Oh, except for that JK. He donates plasma, but you only get $100 for it the first 5 times, and every time after that you get $80. And then she's pissed, and she's like, and that don't pay the bills. Well, neither does walking out of your job, sweetie. You know what I mean? Like, this is a mess. It is a mess. And then this one friend, her roommate, that she don't pay her bills neither. This roommate, Bonnie, she don't pay her bills. And so Brooke confronts her, is like, I can't be fronting you the money anymore. Like, you got to come and pay your own bills. And she's like, okay. And she's like, and can I trust you? And her friend's like, yeah, basically, but she's friends with JK too. And she's like, this is why y'all need to be watching this show. It's messy, okay? And she's like, basically she says, well, anything that she tells me, I'm going to tell JK. So she says, I can trust you like you won't tell JK. And she's like, oh, sure, you can trust me. And she's like, after this girl is paying for her bills and everything, she don't even pay her bills. She's got 3 jobs. I don't know what she's spending her money on. But anyway, I mean, they all vape, all of them. They must just spend their money on pot and vape. But pot and vapes. But anyway, and I ain't judging, do you, baby, okay? But if you can't pay your electric bill, maybe slow down on the pot and the vapes a little bit. But anyway, so then, so as soon as Brooke leaves the restaurant, they show Bonnie. She's up on her phone, and she's like, JK, I need to talk to you now. So then he comes up there, and he orders some food. He brings the food home after Brooke done made this meatloaf. That looks disgusting anyway. Anyway, with carrots and stuff like that. After I was just talking to my neighbor the other day about the pool, like, as a vegetarian, the only thing that ever sounds good to me every once in a while is meatloaf. And that's so weird. Like, I mean, chicken fingers back in the day used to, but meatloaf. But then she made this meatloaf and she had her fingernails and everything into it. I was like, no, I don't want that meatloaf. But anyway, so then she's like, aren't you going to eat any of my meatloaf? He's like, no, I brought food home. We stopped by and talked to Bonnie. And she's like, oh, you did? What'd you talk to Bonnie about? He's like, she told me things. It is so messy. So anyway, Alex was getting so irritated because he's sitting in the chair and I'm on the couch. And I'm like watching. I'm like, get her, girl, get her. And I say it, but I got my AirPods in. And he's watching without AirPods. And so he's like looking at me like, why are you being so loud? And they're talking about angels and stuff on that Sandman show. And I'm looking, he's always got the subtitles. And are you mad that I'm your dad? And I don't know. That show's weird. I don't watch that show. That's why my husband and I can't watch the same shows. That show looks weirdly to me. Anyway. Tanya and I, she was at a concert last night. She went to some concert last night. our server went to widespread panic last night. But anyway, and then I had to tell her about the zombie, what's it called? Zombie Fallout book, because he wears a widespread panic t-shirt, and I'm getting hot. We're gonna do a little leash training today. I might go for a dip in the pool, and then we'll go to the movie. So anyway, that was last night. Oh, so then we fell asleep, and then when I got up, I took them out, and then brought them in, and then they ran around for like 3 hours. We don't, like, at first, we understood, well, first of all, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, yesterday we were 2 weeks out. They aren't even having an accident a day in the house. Like, I'm not, like, I don't know. It's probably because I am, like, obsessively taking them outside. I literally take them outside, like, it was, like, every hour and a half, 2 hours. Now it's, like, every hour. Like, I'm taking them out and, you know, training them with, like, oh, good boy, Walter, good boy. I think that's kind of why they're learning their names a little bit. But anyway, but at first, when I put one puppy pad down, they got it. I don't know why, like, Caroline said it's something in the scent of the puppy pad. I don't know if that's true, but they got it. Because it was like day one I put it down, they peed on it. Now, because last night I was like, I'm going to watch this movie. Well, now we think that a puppy pad is a plaything. It's real fun, isn't it? Puppy pad, like, so I'm sitting there watching this movie and I'm like this. And I'm like, I know, I can hear them back here, even though I got my AirPods on. I'm like, but they also have this, like, duck. It's not LaDonna duck, but it's this duck that has this crinkle inside of it. So I'm like, I look over in the bed and LaDonna's not there. So I'm like, is it, and they also have a crinkle lady, the what do you call it, the lamb chop lady. So I'm like, do they have one of those crinkle things? So I finally get up. Oh my God. There comes Walter dragging that potty pad through the house. They are so hilarious. And there's Otis coming after him like, what are we doing with the potty pad? Anyway. They're so cute. So last night I watched The 28 Years Later, paid my $19.99 and rented it. I thought it was good. I thought all three of them were good. I think if I had to rate them, I would put 28 Weeks Later as the best. I would put 28 Years Later as the second best. And 28 Days Later as the third best. Even though 28 Days Later is the original, and it really doesn't have anything to do, I think it came out in 2002 or 2007. It doesn't really have anything to do with how dated it is. I think it holds up to how dated it is. It's more the storyline of it. 28 Years Later is literally like 28 years later after, they said that Cillian Murphy makes a cameo in it. If he does, he's one of the infected and they, like, kill him. Like, I think that, I kept on looking for him through the whole thing. Ralph Fiennes is in it. He plays a kind of a big part. Anyway, I thought it was beautifully done, in all honesty. It was more, like, some people were saying that they didn't get it, they didn't understand what happened. So, it's about all these people that live on this island, okay? And the island is isolated by this, like, coast, like, this, like, this road that with high tide goes away. So it protects them at night from these, like, these infected that are on the mainland. But this kid, his mom is sick, and so he's trying to get her to a doctor, and he doesn't know what's wrong with her. I thought the sentiment behind it was beautiful. This one was more about the characters and less about the infected. Now, there was some weird stuff in there. Like, they had this alpha, so now the infected are mating, and there's an alpha infected guy, okay? And I don't know if he has, like, morphed so many times. If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But some things are rather large on this, and I don't know why they made a point of showing it over and over and over again, okay? But this alpha infected, it's kind of hard not to notice, because, like, sometimes it's, like, right up here on the screen. I was like, why are they showing this so much? But anyway, so I watched it. Then when I got done with it, I was like, okay, what am I going to watch? Because I want to go to bed. I don't want to stay up too late, but I want to watch, like, one episode of something. I was like, Peter, don't start a new show, don't start a new show, don't start a new show. And then I started that Ballard, which a couple of you guys commented on and said that you had watched it, and that you liked the whole season. Okay, so I watched the first episode of it. I like it. I like the woman that plays Detective Ballard. So here's the thing. I read the very first, I think her name's Renee Ballard. I read the very first It's a crossover book between Harry Bosch and I think it's called The Midnight something. I read it like 2 years ago. I really, really liked the book. Here, I should look it up. I think it's by Michael Connolly, right? Ballard Books. Is it even going to come up? It is Renee by Michael Connolly. Here, it's pointed up on Goodreads. Okay. Goodreads is so slow. Goodreads is so slow, but I love it. Okay. Yeah, here's Red. The Late Show. Renee Ballard, #1. Harry Bosch Universe, #30. And so that was the first one. How many are there now? The camera stopped. Am I really at an hour already? So there's book 1. Book 2. Well, they're like are crossovers with Harry Bosch. Because they're in the Harry Bosch universe. 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe the Harry Bosch books is what Mel and I could read next year together as a read-along. But the Jonathan Kellerman books I was thinking about too. I really, really like, I really liked that book. But in the book she like reads, I think she works like the midnight shift or something. Hold on a second. Why do I feel like that? She works the midnight shift. The Late Show. She's like a cop on the midnight shift or something. Oh, I wrote a review. This was actually a great mystery and I love that Connolly introduced a new detective. Okay. Oh, is that maybe not my review? Oh, wait. New York Times bestselling author Michael Connolly, a new thriller introducing a driven young detective trying to prove herself in the LAPD. Renee Ballard works a night shift in Hollywood, beginning many investigations but finishing none as each morning she turns her cases over to day shift detectives. A once up-and-coming detective, she's been given this beat as punishment after filing a harassment complaint, or harassment complaint against the supervisor. I can't say that word on YouTube. But one night she catches 2 cases she doesn't want to be part with. The brutal beating of a prostitute left for dead in a parking lot. Oh, I do remember this book. And the killing of a young woman in a nightclub shooting. Ballard is determined not to give up at dawn. Okay, so the show is different than the book. Kind of like Cross was. Against Orders. Where are you going?
He's behind me.
I saw him walking yesterday.
Yeah. He's right there with Max.
Good. You look so nice.
Thank you. All in black and white.
I know, you look so nice. It's not Memorial Day weekend. The checkered flags.
It's Sunday.
What?
It's Sunday.
You need the race flags going on.
Oops, there's a car.
Hey,
Peter,
how are you?
hi, how do I look?
You look great. I was at the pool. Was it yesterday? And I saw you walking him, and I was going to talk to you.
Then again, I didn't hear you.
I saw you walking him by when I was at the pool yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You look good.
Feeling better.
Good. Good.
I got a pill that's supposed to control the problem.
Good. It's hot today, huh?
Oh, that's going to be worse.
Is it? You said it's going to be worse?
Yeah, it's supposed to get into the 90s the next 3 days.
Yeah, I saw that on the weather.
Then it's going to rain.
We could use the rain, though.
Yeah, we could use the rain. Everything's drying up a little bit.
It is. Tired of watering my plant.
Where are the bird feeders?
Well, while I'm training the pups, I took them inside because I didn't want a bunch of animals around there. So they're coming back this fall.
Okay. Soon we'll get introductions going.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Bye. Enjoy your walk. So anyway, I started this Ballard show last night, okay? It feels a little bit to me like kind of like, oh, the battery's at the halfway mark. I should have brought another battery out with me. I only watched 1 episode. I like it, okay? And I think the mystery is really good, and I like the characters. A lot of people were like, I really like this actress. I like her too. I don't know that I know her from anything else, or she looks familiar to me, but I don't. Anyway, I like the characters. The acting or the pacing or something is real off to me. There's not a lot of music in the show, which is whatever. The pacing seems real slow. It's kind of like they'll sit around and talk, and it's kind of like this. What case are we working on? The case that we had yesterday. The same case as yesterday? Yes, you know the case. It feels very slow to me, kind of like, what is going on? Like, why is it? It feels like they're talking, and it's weird. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. And then don't know, like, the characters aren't real likable to me. There's like this one volunteer woman that works there. She's like a volunteer woman, and I like her. So it's about this woman that works. She got pushed down because of this harassment charge into cold cases. It kind of reminds me of Department Q a little bit, except for different reasons. But like, so they are in charge of these cold cases. And one of the cold cases is this councilman's sister that was murdered. And so they're supposed to be solving that case. But they're also trying to solve the case of this immigrant guy that was murdered. And they're looking into it. And so it's these two cases they're working at the same time. I don't know. And then it's like she lives with her grandma, and then her grandma's like, I don't know. There's something off to me about it. I cannot explain it. Like, I really like the mystery aspect of it, and I watched like the trailer for the rest of the season, and maybe it's just the pilot episode felt slow to me or something like that. Because it kind of gives me vibes of like Lincoln Lawyer, like a little bit, but like it's slow. I don't know how to explain it to you. Like, I like it, but it's like Lincoln Lawyer's kind of, like, I like, you know what I mean? Like, it's slow. Like, I swear to God, they show her sitting on a surfboard for like 5 minutes, and she's just sitting there on this surfboard, like, for 5, I'm like, what is going on? This show is so slow. I don't understand. But I'm going to keep on watching it. But I also want to watch that Naming of the Dead, so I might watch that tonight. Anyway. Woo, baby, it's hot out here. All right. I want to know what the HOA drama is now. Now I'm waiting for Laura to come back home so I can, as soon as I get done with this, I can walk the dogs next door. Ariana said, I just watched Bring It On the other night. Forgot how fun it was. Well, I watched like 15 minutes of it, and then I didn't go back to it anymore. Connolly said something about Neil Gaiman. A lot of people said something about Neil Gaiman. I did not know anything about that. I'm going to look into it. I did not know that. Thank you guys for letting me know. Christina said, please do a garden tour soon. This is usually peak gardens in full bloom. Maybe she would show her face this year. It's like, she's not going to show her face. She doesn't want to be on camera. But she definitely wants to do a garden tour before it gets like too late. Although it looks kind of like, oh, pool crew lady's husband just came back. It looks like with his daughter, though. Oh, they're going back up there to the pool. Oh, yeah, they're going, he's getting some stuff out of the brunch. I think I'm going to run back, I'm going to run up to the pool. Maybe I'll see if Alex wants to go up there for a second. Oh my God, about the posting of the times, it was funny because literally like some of the comments right next to each other said like, the earlier the better, and then some people said, no, later, so I have something to, I think tonight I'm going to try, well, if the vlog gets up and done by the time that we leave for the movie, I think I'm going to try to post it at like 9 o'clock tonight. But I usually post it between like 9:30 and 10. I mean, I can post it at any time, because what did somebody say here? Prissy Kitty said, hey, Peter, you can post anytime. I don't care what you talk about. What I want to hear about your food. I want to hear about your boys. I want to hear about your husband. I want to hear about anything you... Aw, you are so sweet. Lisa said, if you post them before 9 p.m., I'd love to listen to them while I fall asleep. Well, I'm going to post... I'll post it tonight. I'll try to... If I get it done and up by the time that we leave for the movie, which I should be able to, then I will schedule it to go up at 9. Somebody said, Coraline. Not me being one of those annoying people. Sorry, Peter, this one got me. It's so funny you mispronounced her name since that's a thing in the movie. You know what? I saw that movie, I don't even know how long ago. And I know that it's Coraline. And I don't care that you corrected me. I don't care that you corrected me because I don't care that much about the movie to get it right. If you want to know the truth, then probably the next time I talk about the movie, I'll say Coraline. Didn't she have buttons for eyes or something like that and she went through a door on the wall? I don't remember much about that movie. I don't like cartoons, baby. I don't like cartoons. Coraline. Sweet Coraline. Bum, bum, bum. Caroline. My cousin Caroline. Ashley said, I like earlier because I get busy in the evening with the kids. Okay, maybe I'll try to post it earlier. We'll see. A lot of people are talking about the price of the door. I know. Insanity, don't you think? Somebody said, I liked Ballard. Big fan of Amy Q. Miyamo said, oh my God, I heard my name. Peter read my comment again. Say my name, Miyamo me. Is it Miyamo? Am I pronouncing it right? I hope so. I always wonder what your profile picture is. I can't tell. I listen every morning. This is Angelique, I think. I listen Every morning between 4 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. when I'm opening our family diner. Oh my God, I love that. So I'm always a day behind, but it's a great way to start my day. Thanks for being there. Oh, you are so sweet. Jasmine said I watch it in the morning too when I'm at work. Makes my morning go by so fast, or go by fast. Aw, I love to be part. The best part of waking up is Peter on our vlog. Here's somebody saying something about the anxiety, talking about they struggle with anxiety too. Love watching your videos. You make me laugh. Oh, thank you. The anxiety is pretty, like, I felt pretty good today. I woke up today and it wasn't bad. Last night it was kind of like it came and went. But today it's been pretty good. It hasn't been bad today. Kayla said, I love your neighbors. They seem so fun. I love my neighbors too. They are so fun. Aw. So many people on here talking about how they struggle with anxiety too. You know, it's something that until, like, I mean, I think this is with most things, honestly. But until I started, like, struggling with it myself, I mean, I was sympathetic, you know, to my friends that had anxiety and took medication for anxiety and therapists. And I would say I have a lot of friends that are on medication for anxiety. And I think that there's, like, some misconception that I'm, like, anti-anxiety medication. I am not at all. Now, as a person in recovery, my anxiety is not so bad that I would take something like a Xanax or something. Like, I would never do that as far as my anxiety. Like, there's enough, like, things for me to deal with. But, like, if my doctor and therapist worked together and said that I needed to be on some low-dose anti-anxiety medication that a lot of you have mentioned that you're on, I would do that. Like, I'm not anti-medication at all. I just want to make that very clear. But I think that anxiety is interesting. It's like, until you struggle with it, I don't think it's something that you really understand. I think it's the same thing as, I'm sure, like, chronic illnesses and stuff. Like, you don't really, you know, like, get it. Like, it's when I try to explain to people, like, I have so many people that are just like, just take an Uber, or like, why don't you get out more? And I'm like, you don't really understand what it's like to, like, never leave the house unless you do it. And I'm not talking about, like when it's your life, like... And on top of that, you have social anxiety. And on top of that, you have anxiety, right? And so it's just easier to stay at home, you know? It's like, I don't know that you really... I think that's why, like, I think that having conversations with one another and listening to their point of view about whatever it is, whether it's about mental health or circumstances or backgrounds or what diversity or marginalized communities or just like sobriety versus, I don't know, chronic health, whatever it is, marriage, being single, whatever it is, I think that we need to listen to each other and listen to other people's experiences and not challenge it and say, your experience is invalid or your experience isn't true, but just to take that person's experience for face value and say, I want to learn something from your experience. You know, I think it's so interesting when you share your experience and then somebody says that's not true, you're lying about that. I'm like, that's my experience. That's my experience, strength, and hope, as we say in recovery. Like, you're challenging my life experience. I just wish we would get back to where we could just listen to one another about life experiences, you know. And I don't know, had I listened a little bit more with a keener, you know, ear to people, I don't know that I would have been better prepared, but I think I would have known a little bit more of what to look for with the anxiety. I feel like it just came out of nowhere with me, you know? And I don't think it really did. I think it was kind of like building up over time until it got to be too much, and that's when I noticed it. I think had I really been looking for it long in advance, I think I would have maybe seen it a little bit sooner, but I wasn't, you know? I don't know. So, and listen, I know that there are a lot of people out there that have it a million times worse than I do when it comes to anxiety, OCD, mental health, things like that. I mean, one of the things that my therapist has said is that to him it's very interesting that as soon as I had worked through the majority of the OCD, I mean, it still flares up from time to time, but not anywhere. I mean, the rituals are like, honest to God, like 95% gone. And like, as soon as that was kind of worked through was when the anxiety peaked. Well, when you know about OCD and OCPD and things like that, a lot of them are internal defense mechanisms against anxiety and depression. I mean, they're control mechanisms. And so if you take away the rituals, then the anxiety is going to flare up. You know what I mean? It's like, I remember when I worked in treatment back in the day, my supervisor was talking about like, that like, we're like water balloons. And so if you push down on the part that you take somebody's like drugs and alcohol away from them, then the other things, whether those things are other forms of addiction or acting out or food issues and things like that, those things are going to flare up because the control issues, all that kind of stuff has to go somewhere. So that stuff's going to flare up. So if you take the drugs and alcohol away, you take the acting out away, the water balloon's going to burst at some point. And I think that that's really to some degree what happened to me with the anxiety. Is it like I no longer have, I don't know. And even though I was working in therapy and I was talking about it, it just like, I think exploded everywhere. But talking about it really, really helps. Hearing other people's experience. When you guys share with me, like I don't think you guys really know how validating this is to me and how helpful it is to me. And don't ever feel like you need to share it on a video. Feel free if you want to direct message me or whatever. But I mean, you don't even need to do that. But the people that do, that say like, I so relate to what you're going through, or I have it so much worse, or this is what helped me. That really, really helps me because it makes me feel like I'm not so all alone. And I think like in this world, I don't know, like being part of a 12-step program where there's no greater power than sharing with another alcoholic or an addict. I think sharing our life experiences with one another and learning from one another. And also being like, I see you in what you're talking about, or, like you see me in what you're sharing. I think it's really powerful, Anyway, let me get off here now. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday and that you're getting relaxed, rejuvenated, refreshed, and renewed for the week ahead. If nobody else has told you this today, it's my favorite day. Sundays are my favorite day. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. Spirit fingers, and of course I will see you tomorrow. And if you're watching this on Monday morning and you're watching at work or getting ready for your day, I hope that you are having a magically amazing Monday and a fantastic beginning to your week. This is going to be the best week ever. I'm going to film a lot of videos. I'm going to get a lot. Oh, I forgot to say this. I'm going through on my Peter Does Stuff channel. I'm going through all my bins and tins. I called them tins yesterday. All my bins of old t-shirts and whatever else is in there, shorts or sweatshirts and stuff. We've got 4 of them to go through this week. I'm going to film myself going through them, and it's going to be like toot or boot. Like on RuPaul's Drag Race. We're going to keep it or we're going to donate it. So anyway, got a lot of vintage stuff in there with vintage price tags and stuff. Can't wait. Anyway, getting off here now. I'm going to go see this movie tonight. Hope you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday. Get relaxed for the week ahead. Love you guys so much. Let me know what you did this week in the comment section below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.